Ah, there you go. Systems are booting up. Look at that. As people start to stream in, we'll say hello. We'll see how everyone is. Where's the dog? He's around somewhere. Hope all of you doing amazing. Thank you for joining the live stream, especially those who stayed up. If I know a lot of you are from East Coast, staying up, saying hello, seeing what's up. We're going to be talking about some classics. We're going to be talking a little bit about the classic Superman with Christopher Reeves. I'll tell you my thoughts. I recently watched the new Superman and tell you, my thoughts on that. I know that some people are very much into Superman right now because of the new movie, and there's a lot of discussion whether Man of Steel is better, Superman, Christopher Reeve. Everyone is definitely talking about it. So sweet. Nice to see our moderator, Sally N, is on here. Good evening to everyone on the live stream. Excited to be on here. Paul T. Hey, Rick, you made it this time. You did make it this time. I made it this time, too. Greetings from Florida. Let me know where you are saying hello from in the comments. As always, this is always, for those of you who are new, this is a free forum. Feel free to ask questions. Of course, stay respectful and so forth. I'll answer questions about classic TV shows, movies, my channel, how I make my videos, about, my life now. Recently, not too long ago, married, waiting a baby. Lots of stuff happening. Keeping on making the classic TV show and movie videos 2 to 3 times a week, for those of you who don't know. Let's see, Diane F. from Casper. Is it? Hold on. Yes, Wyoming. Why did I not know that wasn't Wyoming? I thought it was something else. Hopefully my volume, let me adjust a little bit. Okay, I adjusted the volume just a little bit. It was reverbing a little too much. Hey, Jerry, nice to see Jerry on here. People are coming on. People have asked me, Rick, are you going to do more live streams? And yeah, I'm trying to do more live streams. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do them every week, but as we said, we'll do them as long as possible and as long as I can make them. So let me know, how's it going? Let me know how everyone's doing. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to see your comments. Love to see people saying hello. And yeah, we're excited. What have you been watching in classic TV shows and movies? I'll be talking about the Superman movie. I will definitely not go into spoilers, but I'm going to tell you about the movie. Basically, I'm not going to tell you anything plot related. I'll tell you about, of course, Superman. I'll tell you about Lois Lane. I'll tell you about my thoughts. I had mixed thoughts about the movie. And yeah, we'll talk about what makes maybe a movie interesting, especially us classic TV folk. Can classic TV folk watch new movies? Or is everything just trash for us? Or are we the type of person who could maybe enjoy something that's new and so forth? So that's really cool. I have my little table here. I actually tried a new setup with a little table and some water. Unfortunately, I spilled some on my table. Let me see if I change my light here. Change my light. Yeah, that's a little better. It's a little better. More a little blue, but I think I like how that's looking. Paul T is binging on Get Smart up to season 4. Very cool. I try to do that, and then I watch 2 or 3 episodes, and then I just can't watch anymore. There are certain shows that are harder for me to binge than others, and then others I have to do slowly. I Dream of Jeannie, I went like 10 episodes, and then I had to stop for a while. So it's not easy. It's not easy. Hey, Ramon, it's everything's going great. We'll talk about, as I mentioned, Superman, the new movie. We'll talk about, to see if, because I know some people are interested in it because of, Christopher Reeve popularized it. We have George Reeves, who made it popular in the 50s. Christopher Reeve popularized it in the late 70s, mostly in the 80s, though. The 3, Superman 2, 3, and 4 were in the 80s. Superman 1 was in, I think, 78. People could correct me on that. Hey, Jared, nice to see you. So let's get into it. Maybe we'll get into some classic TV trivia. One of you who's in the stream right now told me that the trivia I did last time was too easy. So let me go hard this time. Let me, at least for me, what would go, not the hardest, but a little tougher, and see if people think that's too tough, or if you like it, or if you say, Rick, you're too crazy. Who's gonna know these answers? We'll see. Maybe you guys do know them. I just didn't want to go too hard, but I guess I might. but I might alienate people who might not. Well, we'll see. Hey, Sarge. A salute to you. Good evening to you and the rest of the chat. Ulysses the Pagan. I went old school lately, binge watching Rat Patrol. Just finished season 1. How are you liking it? You're enjoying it? Do you recommend it to me? I've never gotten into it. Meaning I've never watched it. Maybe I could get into it. So yeah, Sally and Christopher Reeve is your Superman. Yes, Superman was in 1978. Yes, that appears correct because I looked it up a little before this, and that's what I believe it was. I don't think it was 79, but it was 78. So what's interesting is George Reeves, right? Also being a Reeves, Christopher Reeves. Coincidence. But all these tragic things that have been happening to the Superman people. And now we have 2025, and we truly have a divided group of people who love the movie, other people who hate it, and some people in the middle. I tend to be in the middle about it because I didn't totally hate it, but I didn't totally love it when I backward thought about it. When I, in retrospect, talked about it, I was like, oh, I'm not sure some of these things were as great as I remembered. Or, when you let things simmer a little bit, you're like, yeah, maybe I was caught up in the action that was going on. So Ulysses says you like it, but being older now, it has some cringe, but a product of its time. Yeah, I mean, that's with all classic stuff. I mean, everything is a product of its time. Everything is going to look dated. I think a lot of the stuff today is going to look dated very quickly, like in 5-10 years max. And then some of the stuff we're watching from the 70s, yeah, you could tell it's in the 70s, but it's still funny. And you can even show it to the kids. I mean, we're talking about Chaplin that we can show to little kids, Three Stooges, and they'll still laugh. So I think that says a lot. Let me know. Do you like to watch new movies? Or is it just, you're done? You're done? Have you set a cutoff on a certain year? And you're like, nope, no more. I'm not watching any more of those. Let's see what you guys say. Merlin from Massachusetts. Nice to see you, Merlin. Jared says, I don't mind new movies, though many new movies that are blockbusters are mostly properties we've seen before, either with remakes, reboots, or sequels. They're not always great. I concur with that. I think they're afraid to go new, and a lot of the stuff that is new, completely like different, doesn't hit as hard because it's like, how can you go wrong with Superman, right? But they have messed that up. But yeah, so let's talk about the movie in general. Again, I know the movie just came out, so there's not going to be any crazy spoilers on plot, but I will tell you my thoughts. I'll tell you some negatives. I'll tell you some positives, and then I'll tell you if I recommend it or not, or how I recommend it. Okay, so coming into it, I saw Man of Steel, which I absolutely love. I love the darker, gritty tone, very similar to Batman Begins, which is my favorite trilogy of all time, pretty much, well, after Back to the Future. So Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and oh my gosh, what is the last one with Bane? Okay, so yeah, it's interesting because this Superman movie, to me, when I looked at the I had gone to see a movie with my wife not too long ago. I even forgot which movie it was, but it showed like the first 4 minutes of the Superman movie, and it intrigued me. I liked that the color was back. Not that I minded the color in Man of Steel, but there's just something where they're making all these movies now with the colors all muted, and it's like warm tones or dark tones, and I just want color again. So it was nice to see that. It was a scene that it's pretty popular now. You see the new Superman, and you see him with Krypto, the dog that flies and has superpowers as well because he's an alien dog. He's Supergirl's dog. And he's being just beat up by the dog, basically, in a good way. Like the dog is licking him and everything, helping him out. I think that was pretty cool. I think one of my favorite things about it was Krypto, the dog, that there was a dog interaction. But goodness gracious, this Superman movie, Superman got beat up so much. And it wasn't like he was a newbie Superman. I felt, does this guy even know how to use his powers? He got beat up so much and seemed like a weak Superman. Although he did do spectacular super things. There were times where I was like, hey, you could use your eye lasers right now. You could use your super speed. You could use your super strength right now. Why are you not? By the way, in the movie, I guess I'll spoil this. It's not really, doesn't really kill anything, but it gives you an idea. He saves a squirrel. I'm not kidding. He goes through all the struggle to save a squirrel. Now, again, some people may love that and be like, oh, that's amazing. But he saves a squirrel. And so that could be difficult to oh, yes, thank you, Jared. Dark Knight Rises. I don't know. Sometimes when you do these live streams, you get a lot of brain farts. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so I had fun watching the movie. I think if you kind of turn your brain off, you can watch it. That's not a dig at the movie, but it was just, okay, I'm just watching it. I just want to watch a Superman movie. Show me. And so, yeah, I watched that, but there were some things that I was just, cringe a lot. If you want to see a whiny Superman, watch this movie. He's very whiny. There are moments of strength, but he's very 2025. He's very whiny. He gets in arguments with Lois Lane, which is strange. Like a full-on relationship fight on screen. That is not pleasant. It's not fun to watch. I know that some people may say, well, it's part of the plot. But it's not something that you imagine Superman going through or wanting to see him go through. It's definitely a lot. Now, the movie does overwhelm you with many characters, which you'll either like or you don't like. There was another character, another superhero. You see many superheroes in the movie. Not even super popular ones, or not even very popular ones, but you see multiple different superheroes, 3 or 4, that I was like, who's that again? One of them, played by an African-American actor, was awesome. But I was like, he's in this movie so much, it seems like it's that superhero movie, and where's Superman? Like, where's Superman? And I wanted to see more of that African-American, because he was awesome. The stuff he was doing, I want to see a movie just about him, maybe. But there was just things about Superman where I was like, isn't he supposed to be the manly man? Isn't he supposed to be the Man of Steel? Like, that was a term. Not only was it a movie title, but it was also what we thought of him, right? He was literally Man of Steel. Nothing could break him. Although he went through trials, nothing broke him in the sense of he would sacrifice himself for right the world. And here he was whiny. And now, but here's the thing. Nothing bad to the actor. The actor did a great job. I think his name was David Coronsarret or something. It's a strange last name, which is hard to pronounce for me. But he did the best. He just had to do what the script said, and I think he did the best he could. He actually does look like the guy from the Man of Steel, Henry Cavill, which is great. But I didn't like the suit. The suit seemed dinky. It seemed like some suit that someone would make. Now, Christopher Reeve's suit was almost like I don't want to say like a stocking, but it was very tight fitting, but it looked great. Like, it looked awesome. It looked like that was Superman. This looked like someone pieced it together. I didn't like that look. Let me go back to the comments. Merlin says, modern movies have too much information. Thanks in part to too much CGI. The characters should come first, then add action as needed. I would agree with that, Merlin. So going back to this movie, there's a lot of CGI. It doesn't detract you so much because if you're a fan of Superman and the crazy things that should happen, I mean, the guy flies, right? So they're not going to put him on wires. They're just going to use CGI. It makes sense. There's a part in there. But that makes room for a lot of the villains and characters to be made out of aliens. Now, Lex Luthor is in here. Not really a spoiler. I think it's in the trailer. Lex Luthor is amazing. I think the guy, Nicholas Hoult, I think that's his name, he is probably the best thing about the movie. He is so evil in this. Like, he is so sinister. You hate him, which is what his job is. And then you see him when he's not in character, like in interviews and stuff, and he's so different. So he really is like disgusting in the movie in the sense of like how bad he is and how sinister he is. And I love that. That was like the one thing that I was like, great. Superman, I was mixed about. He kind of walked the line between annoying me and then liking certain things that he did, which was cool. Like, there was a time where he just was like, oh yeah, I'm Superman. And he just starts to do all these things. It's like, okay, that's pretty crazy, pretty unbelievable, pretty cool. But you waited until this point in the movie to do stuff like this. And there wasn't a revelation for him to do that. Hope that makes sense. Sally N says, all pass. Paul T. Ditto, Sally N. All pass too. Ulysses says, well, you know, if that was a Supergirl movie, she would have been a boss. I have no issues with the woman lead, but let them have that hero's journey like Sarah Connor's. Yes, So there was no hero's journey. You know what I really didn't like about the movie? It bothered me. Going back to Christopher Reeve, his parents, right, played by, Marlon Brando and so forth, how his parents and Superman were so good-natured. I mean, Superman is an alien, right? He's an alien from another planet who gets transported on this planet because his planet was destroyed. And he's been raised by human parents, and he sees the love that can truly come from humanity. So he wants to give back and protect it from evil. That's the main idea, right? And because he's an alien on this planet, the sun gives him his abilities to do things on this planet that are just unbelievable, right? So there's just something about this movie where we see his parents and the message that the parents send. I'm trying not to spoil it, but trying to give you an idea here, because this to me broke a good portion of the movie for me. It literally killed it for me. It gave the impression that the parents had ulterior motives for sending him here, and Superman didn't know. Again, I know it's a little plot wise, but no, to me, this like if someone would have told me this, it maybe would have made me decide not to watch the movie. Literally, it doesn't make sense. Like, Superman's parents sent him here, sent Kal-El here in order to do bad things to humanity, and that was like, I know, maybe I'm spoiling it. I'm sorry, I apologize, but you know what? To me, that's not good. That's not right. It destroys the whole mythos, to me, of Superman, because it starts with the goodness of the parents. It goes toward the goodness of Kal-El, Superman, and then it just destroys that. Like, it tries to do something that was never done, but it throws brown matter on the story, on the legacy of Superman, and that, to me, like, that crossed the line where it's just like, no. So Christopher Reeve was Superman. He really was. He was amazing. There's a scene, right, where he's with Lois, and Lois is in another room, right? I'm going back to the first Superman. And he's hunched over like his normal Clark Kent self. He has his glasses on. And then all of a sudden, she talks about Superman, and he kind of answers. And he erects his posture. His posture changes. His look changes. His eyes. It's like a subtle thing, but it's so powerful. And his voice just changes tones from this to this, right? It's not too overly over the top. And the fact that it was so subtle but so powerful made it, like, amazing. There is a moment in the movie like this in the beginning, but it was too clouded for me with, like, the bickering between Superman and Lois Lane. Like, it was bad. Like, I'll give you one line that she said. She's like, "I'm not great at relationships." And it was just like, why are these people whiny? They're just whiny. Don't whine. Like, Superman, I don't want him whining, right? It's like if you see Batman whining, right? You see Batman, he's like, "I don't want to do this. It's like, who is this? These are superheroes. They're supposed to have struggles, but their struggles are not supposed to be normal ones or our struggles, right? They're supposed to be different struggles. Another thing I want to say is that the whole trajectory of Superman, the idea of the concept of Superman, in my eyes, or what I'm understanding, I have some type of intelligence where I think I could understand, is he's an alien who's come on another planet, and he wants to blend in, right? So when he's Clark Kent, he's at the Daily Planet, he's a newspaper guy. What he wants to do is what? Blend in, become human, right? But there's just something where he gets so close, but he's yet so far, right? It's similar to Star Trek, The Next Generation, and Lieutenant Commander Data, who's an android, a robot. And he's so close, his movements, to be human, but there's just something that's missing, and that's the emotions, right? But that's what makes him so intriguing, that he tries so hard, but he can't get there, right? He's never going to get there, but the joy is seeing his struggle. Here, this Superman character that was portrayed was human, meaning he was human in every way. There was no essentially difference, in my opinion, between him being an alien and a human. Like, he did it. He was human. He whined. His dog was biting him, and he was like, "Ow, ow, 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 ow." Like, what your dog does to you. If a dog had to be biting, like, you when you're coming in the door, if you're Superman, you're being bitten, and you're just like, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I'm back. Supergirl's in this movie, and just looking at her, she was in it for the last like couple minutes of the movie, 3-4 minutes. I saw her come in and out, and I was like, I do not want to see a movie with this character. Not because she's a girl, not because she's a woman. The way she was portrayed, I think, was disservice to the character. It was a mess. And I was like, is this what we're going to be watching? An inebriated Supergirl? I mean, she was inebriated the whole time and staggering in. Again, I thought it was just a disrespect to the super family, like Supergirl, Superman. I know she's kind of different and kind of the opposite from Clark Kent and Superman, but I was like, I don't want to watch an inebriated superhero. I just don't. Anyway, back to this. Hello from Baltimore, Maryland. Nice to see you, Jordan Thomas. By the way, people who are chiming in, I'm talking about the new Superman movie and kind of comparing it to Christopher Reeve, telling you the good, telling you the bad. I'll tell you the good. There were some good concepts, unique concepts that were never done before in terms of kryptonite and Superman. I won't say how. I like that. I like the idea of the dog Crypto being in the movie more. I like the idea of how the Fortress of Solitude was portrayed and the fact that there were these like little robot servants. Again, that's in the trailer, so it's not really spoiling anything. I like that about it. I like Les Luthor's portrayal. He was really good. I didn't care for Lois Lane's character here. She seemed whiny as well, upset, challenging Superman in a condescending way, like in a relationship way, like someone who's overbearing to their partner, slightly abusive. Should I say that? Abusive with your words? I'm not afraid to say that. So yeah, coming back here, James, I told everyone to go in with fresh eyes. Forget everything you've seen about Superman in the past, and it'll be very enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. So James, going back to what you're saying, that's what I did. And I am very open to seeing things with new eyes. Man of Steel was literally new in every way. Like, you can even say he was overpowered. He was godlike. He was like a lowercase g god. Like, he was unbelievable, but his struggles were different. Here, hey Charlie, my little dog. Here, he was just toned down. He was just human. He was too human for me. He was too human, and not in a good way, because he wasn't as powerful as Superman normally is. It was just like, I am not interested in this. I pay to see Superman do crazy things. I want him to fly. I want him to pound the ground. You saw Superman be thrown into the ground more in this movie than you saw him beat people up. I'll just say that. There was like one scene where he was beating people up, and it was great. But other than that, he wasn't. So there were things that just bothered me about it. It wasn't comparing it to everything else. It was that what I was seeing was problematic to me. Anyway. Okay, I'm continuing back. No, Marlene Pearson, you are not late. We're talking about the new Superman movie because it's very controversial. There are people who love it, people who hate it, people in the middle. I'm almost in the middle, but more on the side of not liking it, to be honest, although there were elements that I did like. And people are saying, hey, if you don't come in with fresh eyes, you can't enjoy it. And let me tell you, I did come in with fresh eyes. I was ready to just enjoy it. I even heard that some people said it wasn't so great, but I was like, no, but I'm still going to watch it because I want to see Superman. I want to see something new and different and cool. And you know, what you can do with CGI and a good story. The story was all over the place. It was even confusing at this point. It made so many twists and turns that it was hard to keep track. It was a little unbelievable in terms of everything that was going on. You go everywhere. There were no like breaks. It was just boom, 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 boom for 2 hours. Which was, the pacing was too fast to literally process what's going on. And things are so fast on the screen. And it was a lot. So Mark Gordon, you like Reeves and Reeve. So Christopher Reeve and then George Reeves, right? Very cool. And I thought Tyler, I don't know how to say his last name, Hoechlin, right? He was the guy from the CW, right? Captured Clark Kent's side the best of all the Supermans. I haven't seen his portrayal, but I liked him in the Superman suit. Now, if you would have put this Superman suit on Henry Cavill, which I did like, and I've seen the images, still don't like it. I don't like the super suit. It looks pieced together by someone in their backyard. Like, it doesn't look like it should. in all the other portrayals where it looked awesome. I just see it and I'm like, that's not pleasurable to look at, right? Excuse me. Beth says, Smallville's your favorite version of your Superman story. It's still worth it despite one or two people since. People have been really saying that they like Smallville, although you can only see Superman a little bit. And I like to see Superman doing big things. I don't know if I'm interested in his backstory. Maybe I'm not giving it a chance. I apologize for the dog outside. Unfortunately, that dog barks a lot in the other yard. It's left outside in the patio pretty much all day. And it barks like all day. I'm kind of immune to it, but I apologize. Maybe let me just close the window. It might help. Give me 1 second. Apologize for that, everyone. It's a little difficult. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't want that dog to annoy people. Now it's a lot quieter. Sorry about that. It's just I want to leave the window on. We have a nice breeze here, so it feels really good. Yeah, and again, I have no reason to not like a movie or to like a movie. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm telling you my thoughts. I love cinema. Did I have fun? Yes. And you may say, how'd you have fun? Because there were some fun scenes. You know, I enjoy a lot of movies that are dumb, ridiculous, not well written. They're just fun to watch. They're stimulating. You kind of turn your brain off. You pop the popcorn in. You just laugh. It's dumb, hysterical, right? That's okay. I'm not against dumb movies. I like the Naked Gun series. I mean, that's a silly, dumb movie. But it's brilliant in its own way, right? And now we have the new Naked Gun, and Liam Neeson is playing Frank Drebin. And I saw the trailer, and it was, oh goodness. Okay, going back. Cool Aunt 516 says, I liked the Superman cartoons when you were a kid. Beautiful animation, even now it holds up. Well, it was hand drawn, right? So I could see how people really enjoy that. Yeah, so talk to me about your thoughts on the first Superman movie all the way through the fourth, even the third, right, that had Richard Pryor in it, which is crazy. I actually ordered the 4 movies so I can kind of rewatch them. I also have Man of Steel, and not to compare and contrast, but kind of. Oh my gosh, Paul T. was a new Superman wearing a football helmet, like Lucille Ball. That was great. No, I didn't really get into George Reeves much, but I want to get to see him. He was great on I Love Lucy, and his costume is so basic, is so simple, but he looks good in it. And I think that's super important. Okay, Sarge says, as a kid, you watched and enjoyed George Reeves as your first Superman, but when I was in the Army in 78 and watched Chris Reeve as Superman, that vision cemented it. He was an incredible Superman, and I believe that. I think a lot of people are giving Christopher Reeves a really bad, like, they're throwing shade on him. They're throwing bad juju on him. I don't want to say bad words. They're throwing bad vibes on him because they're saying, oh, Christopher Reeve people, they just don't want to leave that. No, I mean, I love Christopher Reeve, but I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I think there could be other good portrayals. If you haven't seen Man of Steel, it's a little dark and gritty. I love General Zod's portrayal in that movie by Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is amazing. That is probably one of the best villains I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking about nitty-gritty, violent action, like, villains, is Michael Shannon in that Superman movie. He was unbelievable. I almost was as entertained watching him as when Superman came on the screen. And CGI was used amazing in that. CGI was used good in this movie, too. It wasn't bad, but there are moments where the CGI is not great quality. In one, if you look, I saw for a split second a normal shoe of Superman, and another one, an elongated one. Because it was like he was taking off, and in that split screen, like, the CGI makes it look like his foot is like 4 feet long. It's so weird. Yes, Sally N. So I did watch it on the big screen, not IMAX necessarily. The only choices were just, standard, but it was high def 4K, but it was not 3D. I don't like to watch it in 3D. I think it kind of disturbs my enjoyment of it. And I think now they have 3D without the glasses. I just want to watch it and be able to enjoy it. And if I really like it, I'll get certain things in 3D. I have bought certain movies in 3D, and I enjoy them. I have Jurassic Park in 3D, which is fun in 3D, but yeah. Okay. Anyway, say your thoughts It could be anything about Superman, anything you want to tell me. I Love Lucy. You want to tell me about the new movie. You want to ask me about the new movie. If you want to see a lot of different types of heroes and villains, this movie has it. There's other minor superheroes that are minor to Superman who appear in it who you're like, who is that? Oh, okay. I've never seen this superhero before, but they're kind of cool. They're kind of interesting. But can I see more Superman? And then we saw Superman. There was just this aura around him which wasn't grandiose. The gravitas was not there for me. I don't think that was the actor's fault. It was the portrayal by the director. It was what the director wanted. The director toned down Superman. He really did. His presence. And then you see Henry Cavill and you're just like, oh my gosh, that is an OP Superman. But he still had struggles, which I love. He wasn't omnipotent to the point of where he didn't struggle. But this character struggled with strange things. I don't know. It was a strange thing. Okay. Marlene Pearson, you love The Naked Gun. Skeptical about the new one. Yeah, Liam Neeson. And now I like Liam Neeson. I love him in Star Wars, Episode 1. I love him in like his serious action roles. He's a great actor. And I'm not against certain actors doing comedies. Like, I think he could do a comedy well. I just think the script looked a little weak. And I didn't laugh once. And if something's funny, I want to laugh, right? So I'm ready to do it. So, oh, I see Beth. Smallville's slow burn story unfolding was great. Yeah, similar to Star Trek, The Next Generation, or even more Star Trek, which if you haven't seen, you have to watch it. Deep Space Nine. It's slow and unfolding, but when you finish the series, your mind is blown. Such a good story. It's a slow candle burn, but if you want to just put your life into a story and fall in love, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Star Trek The Next Generation is great, but every episode is individual kind of to itself. There's very few episodes that kind of blend together. Okay. Yeah, so I really am interested in hearing about you guys talk about old classic movies like Superman, The Naked Gun, and these reboots or remakes. And not necessarily that they're all bad. I want to find the good elements in them. But if they're not there, they're not there. I'm not gonna grasp at straws if it's not there, right? So let me see. If I didn't happen to see your comment, I'm not ignoring you. Just feel free to write it again, and I'll try to get to it. Mark T says, Superman is definitely my superhero. He always has been, and he always will be. Mark T, are you going to watch the new movie? Have you seen Man of Steel? What do you think of it? Have you seen Smallville? Let me know. Marlene, you're skeptical about the new Naked Gun. Okay, what makes you skeptical? Is it the story? Is it Liam Neeson in a comedy? Beth, that's how I feel about the 2000s Fantastic Four movies. I absolutely love watching them for fun. Absolutely, Beth. I love the one with Reed Richards is Mr. Stretch. With Jessica Alba. I think that was fun. And Chris Evans. It was just a fun movie. Then it got kind of weird. Now they're remaking it again with Pedro Pascal, who is not my favorite, but for many reasons. But I want to look more. I might give it a try, but I'm skeptical about it. Okay. Coulant says, I saw Naked Gun clip. One guy says, cover me, and he gets a hacket thrown over his head. Is that what it says? Hacket? I'm not... Oh, a jacket thrown over his head. Yeah. No, yeah. So stuff like that. I could see that happening in the old Naked Gun, which, yeah, okay, that's fun. But I think there was something in Leslie Nielsen that made it so fun to watch. He had that dry humor. He had that perfect delivery that people take for granted. And then when you say, okay, you try to do it, and you just look at them, and even the best actors, they struggle. They have strengths in their own fields. But I think if you scour the world to find someone better than Leslie Nielsen to deliver those lines, you might get close. You might get someone you get, like, the whole world. There might be someone, of course. But it's not easy. And I think that's what happens. A lot of people in Hollywood, let's just say, well, let's just put a good actor in here. Liam Neeson is a great actor. But does he fit the role? And I've talked about this even in classic TV shows and movies, that just because someone is a good actor or actress doesn't mean you could put him in any role. Because good acting, someone could have good acting, but it doesn't mean they're well cast for a role. If that makes sense. Lucille Ball was a great actress. Would you put her in a role as Lois Lane? Maybe. I'm not saying she couldn't do it, but maybe Lucille Ball wouldn't be the best Lois Lane. I think she probably could have done the job. But I think it's naive to even say, and even I think Lucille Ball would have agreed. I don't want to speak for her. She's not here anymore. But I don't think you could say, yeah, she could be cast in any female role ever, right? I think she could be a villain. I mean, maybe some actors, but you can always say, okay, I think this role would fit better this person, right? And this is what we're talking about. This is what we're discussing in this, how correct or how not correct this is. So I thank you. If you haven't hit the like button on this video, please give it a like. I do appreciate it. It does mean a lot, and it's free to do so. Okay. Ulysses, while a movie with some good points is like a menu at a restaurant, over may not like 90% of the menu, you still say to eat. Yeah, no, I saw the whole movie. I enjoyed it, and I left saying, yeah, I enjoyed it. Was this as good as the other ones? No, I don't think so. And I think you're hard pressed to say or make that argument. Now, people are making that argument. I just don't agree with them. I don't think it holds water, or as they say. Maze Runner, Super Friends would have been a better yes. So you've seen the movie, right? Oh, where'd you go? Where'd your comment go? I lost it. Okay, so I'm sorry, your comment just disappeared. I don't know why. But it basically says, Super Friends, yeah, there was, I mean, it wasn't like Justice League, which means it's basically a grouping of a lot of DC superheroes. It wasn't even that. And let me tell you something. Okay, yes, there were a lot of superheroes. They were bickering with each other like crazy. Like, they were literally trying to save the world. And they were bickering with each other through it all. Like, they were pot-shotting each other, like ribbing each other. And to be honest, it's cool, but they were doing it the whole movie. The whole movie. And I was just like, okay, I get it. It's fun. It's funny here, but just get right to it. And they kept doing it, and they just kept doing it. And to me, it took away from what was going on. Like, you have a good battle action scene, but the ribbing, it kind of throws off the pace of what you're doing. If you're inserting these jokes of them degrading one another. It's strange. It's very strange. Oh, Maze Runner, there it says, Super Friends would have been a better title for the movie. Definitely not a movie about Superman. I mean, I would disagree in the sense of, well, it is a movie about Superman, but there were a lot of his friends on here. And a lot of them with Superman not on screen. And I'm like, why? Although the superhero with the T, I did enjoy him. He did win me over. He was really good. They did a good story and script for him. He was amazing. It was unbelievable, the stuff he was doing. And I almost enjoyed that more than Superman, which bothered me. I'm like, how in a Superman movie am I liking another character more? That has to be problematic. Listen, if I'm going to watch a movie like Superman, Batman, right? Wonder Woman, I'm supposed to like the main character. They're not antagonists. That's not what we're trying to do here. But some of these directors and producers, they're like, yeah, let's do something different. Let's make people hate a character that they're supposed to love. Let's just do that. Let's just do that for fun. Let's make them love the villain. The villain wants to blow up the earth, but let's just make you like the villain so that you say, yeah, they should blow up the earth. Which I know is a reversal of what, it's like a reversal of expectations. But then it throws everything to a loop where you're just questioning everything. And then you're like, am I supposed to enjoy this? I'm not enjoying this, but I am. It's a strange thing. Elsine, yeah, there's no CGI in the 50s Superman. The Sarge says, haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about the lack of Superman in a Superman movie. Yeah, I mean, he's in it. He's in it, and he's in it a good amount, but then there's a time where he's not. Oh, Sally N is coming in with a $20 super chat. Sally, you're awesome. Sally, you're a moderator. You're being a great supporter. I'm gonna heart it and pin. Can I pin it? Oh no. Oh, it pins it on the top. Thank you so much for your $20 super chat. You are awesome. You're amazing. I'm glad you're liking this. If you're liking me reviewing movies like this, let me know. I was very tempted to go and see the Jurassic Park movie with my wife. The new Jurassic Park movie, which I actually heard wasn't too good. People were giving it 5s out of 10s. Like, these are normal YouTubers and people who would watch it. They were not giving it good reviews. I'm even interested in critiquing it for you. Would you be interested in that? Doing a live stream? And just going through some of the new movies? Maybe, because, okay, so I've never done a critique or dissection of a movie in a live stream. If you like it, let me know. That might be cool. Okay. Oh yeah, Jared Wignall. Liam Neeson was great in Batman Begins, and his brief cameo in The Dark Knight Rises. He was unbelievable. Such a cool villain. Like, really well done. That's a well-written story. Christopher Nolan. When people say, you don't need to write a good story. Well, look at The Dark Knight Rises. But now people criticize it because it's like, well, that's old. People, old doesn't mean bad, and we know that. We know that, us classic TV people. Okay, let me continue down the comments here. Paul Testa, in the 78 Superman, Jackie Cooper from The Little Rascals played Perry White. I didn't know that. See, I was a little boy when I watched Superman. I watched it a lot, over and over, but I just never saw it like as an adult or even a teenager. So it's been a while. It's been a while. But don't fret. I actually bought the 4 movies. It was very affordable, and I'm gonna be watching it. Let me know if you also want to see videos of me dissecting those 4 Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve ones. And since we're in the Superman binge, I may even start looking at the George Reeves ones and going through those, because I know a lot of you are a fan of that. I've never gotten into it, but I'm very open to it because now I'm like on a Superman like high, and I'm just interested in diving more into the character, right? So yeah, I kind of want to be a self-proclaimed, me naming myself, Superman aficionado. Okay. Jared, sort of like how whenever there's a new Batman, many people sort of dump on the other Batman actors just to try and make the new one great. Jared, I want to I'm going to highlight your comment, pin it, because you're so right. You said something that I've always wanted to say, and that is they just bank on the new one, and it's like new is best, right? So I have a new computer. It is literally the most powerful computer in the world. It's the best. I have the best computer, right? But next year, the better one comes out. And so the second one that you have now ceases to be the best and someone else has the best. But they can't independently say that this is still an amazing computer. No, just because it's second best, it's trash now. And that's not necessarily true, right? Same thing with cars. People are rediscovering old-timey cars from the 80s. But I go to car shows, by the way, a lot. And young guys, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, are buying cars from the 80s and loving them. They're rediscovering classic cars. Now what's classic cars? It's almost 40 years old, and saying, hey, these are actually good, fun cars compared to the ones now. They're too electronic-y, too gimmicky. So that's a great example. And Jared, you're right about that. Batman actors just try to make the new one great. Christopher Reeve was a great Superman. Absolutely. He was. I think you can't deny that. If you're denying that, you're just being a troll. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but definitely he was great and amazing, and everyone loves him, right? Okay. Oh, Sally, I know you're a very big fan of Greatest American Hero, William Catt. Yep, I've heard that. I may get into that because people love it. Yes to more movie reviews. Yeah, I'm tempted. To be like, hey, wifey. Although next weekend my wife and I are going to Oregon for a quinceañera, like a sweet 16, but in the Spanish culture we do it with 15-year-olds. So it's her cousin. And so we're going to be in Oregon. So anyone in Oregon, by the way, I'll be in your stomping grounds. I'll be in Medford, Oregon, by the way. Rick Naichi and his wife and unborn baby will be in Medford, Oregon. Am I saying too much? I won't say my schedule, but yeah, I will be there. So maybe Oregon people, I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I'm having an amazing time with you guys on the chat. You're all amazing. Love the reviews. I'm very tempted to do, some people may say, that movie came out 2 weeks ago. No, but I want to tell you my thoughts because Jurassic Park, 1993, was it? Is a classic. And it's one of the best movies ever, Jurassic Park. The first one, right? I know it's not in the 70s, but it was so well made. It's like E.T., or even better than E.T. Yeah, cool on. I've not heard good things about the latest Jurassic Park movie, but remember, I would just go and watch movies, not necessarily because they're good or bad, but just because maybe there's a connection with the classics, right? And be able to talk about something, that we haven't talked about. Like Ready Player One. I was going to say that movie has nothing to do with the classics, but no, it honors the 80s stuff, so forget that. But I feel like a lot of stuff now is honoring stuff from the past, right? Okay, I'm glad you love it, Sarge. I'm glad you like the reviews. even if a movie is trash and I watch it, but I'm interested in watching it. The Minecraft movie, I did watch that with my wife, and I used to play Minecraft back 2015. I don't play as much now. But the movie was the dumbest movie. I would not recommend it because I think most people in here would not like it. I'm just telling you, it's not a good script. It's so dinky. Unless you know what Minecraft is, just don't even get close to it. I enjoyed it, but it was a fun time, but it was dumb. It was dumb. It was the dumbest thing you can ever imagine, but it was a dumb good time. Because when I played it, I was in my early 20s, right? When I started playing it. So it was almost like in college. So it was a cool thing to do. Now that, I'm in my 30s, the movie came out and it's like, okay, I understand what's going on. But I would recommend none of you to watch it. Probably no one would like it. And I don't want to, I want to have a good recommendation streak. Like people are saying, no, Rick is good at recommending things and he tells us the truth and he tells us, hey, he liked this movie, but he still doesn't recommend it because he thinks a lot of us won't like it. So I want to be honest like that. I really do. And I hope you appreciate that in the comments and let me know that you appreciate that because I'd like doing that. Is the John Williams theme presented in this new Superman movie? Commander Kane, aka Paul R. I love that question and I'm sorry that I can't give you an answer right now. I would have to look that up. If you give me a second, I can look that up. 1 second. Typing it in. Almost done. Okay. Because I think it's a great question. And I want to see if John Williams does actually make movies. Oh, yes. Okay. And I'm sorry because when I was watching the movie, believe me, I was having fun. I wasn't taking notes. I was with my wife. It was like a little impromptu date. So believe me, I wasn't saying, okay, this is the John Williams theme. I let myself be absorbed into the movie and just had a good time. If I watch it again, I'll like analyze it. I'll break it down a little more. This was just in a normal watch, right? So apparently, yes, this movie does bring back the John Williams iconic Superman March theme, but it has a fresh twist by new composers John Murphy and David Fleming. So maybe that's why I like parts of it, because you do hear it and it does tickle your fancy, being like, oh, it does trigger that nostalgia. So yes, so maybe it made me subconsciously smile, right? Yeah. Yeah, but it's a little different and I can get back into it, but that's a great question. So the answer is yes. And see, these are the type of questions I think are awesome that you guys ask. So keep asking these things. Coulant, you've not heard good things about the latest Jurassic Park movie? I know, but I'm still tempted to watch it because I like dinosaurs. And the last one, I didn't watch Jurassic Park World Dominion or that one. I watched the one before. So Jurassic World, I watched that. That was good. The one after that I watched, I didn't like that one too much. Okay, the Sarge. Thanks, Rick. Old-timey cars from the 80s. Oh, I feel so good now. Believe me, I was born in the 80s, so I'm calling the era that I was born old-timey. Believe me, I am offending myself a lot, right, saying that. All in good fun, though. We all know. I mean, we're watching stuff from the teens, literally 19-teens, 1920s, all the way to the 50s, right? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I know people love, like, a lot of these young guys are buying stuff like Thunderbirds and old 70s Camaros and stuff like that because it's just cool. It's just cool, and they're loving it. Oh, Ulysses, that reminds you of Futurama. I'm a big Futurama fan. I can't tell you that I can name what episode 10 is, but I really enjoyed it, and I really want to get into it more. Sally Ann, yeah, a dumb good time. Can I copyright that? Trademark that? I'm gonna say that, or I hope I remember that. I'm gonna pin it, Sally, because that is great. I like to pin people's comments who just say really cool and fun and great things. So that's why I want you guys to comment so I can highlight you. Dumb good time. Yeah, it's a dumb good time. So you understand that? That probably means like I don't recommend it unless you want a dumb good time. It's not where I'm saying this is an iconic movie. It's so well written. The twists and turns you never expect, and it takes you on an amazing ride where it's thought-provoking, intelligent. We're not talking about that. I mean, it's Superman. Most scripts aren't thought-provoking, but yes, the script was messy. It was all over the place. You know, one of the big things, going back to Superman, he has amazing reaction, right? His reaction time is second to none. how can I explain this without spoiling it? The villain Lex Luthor, who's amazing. He does a great job. Nicholas Hoult, I think he is. He was also in X-Men. He played Beast, and he's a really good actor. There was a delay in the orders that Lex Luthor was giving to the villain that was against Superman. I'm not trying to spoil the story. I'm trying to give you an idea. Because Lex Luthor, we all know he's in it. We all know there's a villain, and there's like a sub-villain. And I won't spoil who that is, obviously, and all that's going on. Which I think that twist was like, okay. Not the most shocking twist ever. But the reaction time of going from Lex Luthor to the villain to Superman was faster than Superman's reaction. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But I know people would say, wait, if Superman's reaction time was that fast, then we wouldn't have a movie. And I'm like, well, then your writing isn't great. Because does that make sense? People who've seen this movie, can you please let me know that they understand what I'm saying? Lex Luthor's orders to the villain who was fighting Superman took time to get there. 2 seconds, maybe? Superman's reaction time is milliseconds, right? Like, if you were to punch him, right, he just grabs your hand, right? Isn't that a thing? Like, isn't that what Superman does? I mean, he literally, like, goes and comes back, right, and changes, and, like, that's the whole point. And so, I don't know. That was a little questionable for me. So I feel like some of the actors were done dirty with the script and what they had to do and what their job was. So my hat's always off to the actors. And, yes, I'm not a fan of Lois Lane in this. I am a sucker for us falling in love with the protagonists. Yes, there are some people who are like, no, there are protagonists that you can love to hate. But I mean, Lois Lane, where can you go wrong with that? Like, imagine I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball, and it's like Lucille Ball is the main person, she's funny. Lucille Ball in that is likable. Lucy is likable. Imagine if you make her not likable. I don't know. I guess you can say Steve Urkel is not likable, but you watch him. I don't know. But it's just weird. Marlene Pearson says, I'm so ancient compared to Rick. That's funny. That reminds me of Futurama, Dumb Good Time. Cool. Would you consider doing reviews of the so bad they're good movies like Abbott and Costello? I mean, I've reviewed Abbott and Costello. Cool. Check out my Abbott. I think I have an Abbott and Costello playlist. No, check into my Halloween/horror one. And I do talk about Abbott and Costello versus like Frankenstein or whatever. And I love that movie. Like, it's not well written or anything like that, but it's a great movie and it's fun and it's entertaining. And it brings Bela Lugosi, which is the second time he portrays Dracula on screen in a movie. The first time was Dracula. And I mean, we have Glenn Strange. Like, it's a fun, great movie, which is like the most genius thing is putting Abbott and Costello with horror, and you don't think it works, but it does. Imagine the Three Stooges in the horror episodes or in the scary ones. It's great, and it's stupid, and it's ridiculous, and it's fun, and we love it for it, right? So absolutely. Tim Fernier, you love the Stooges. I do. Do you ever like Abbott and Costello? I love them both. I do. I've talked about Abbott and Costello at length. I like their movies. I actually have physical copies of like their shows, which I haven't got into yet, but I really love their movies. I watch Abbott and Costello, The Mummy, Invisible Man, Boris Karloff, Against Frankenstein. I've watched all of the horror ones that they had, and they were pretty good. They were pretty entertaining. I mean, Boris Karloff is in the Boris Karloff ones. I think there's a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've seen all of them. It's a set. So, yeah. These are great questions, by the way. Keep them coming. Yeah, Commander Kane. Okay, cool. John Williams Superman theme is iconic. By the way, a fun fact I learned, the Superman John Williams theme, where it's like, right? Literally, the tone that there's no words into it, it's Superman. It's embedded into the song. Listen to it, and when it goes, da, 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 right? That's Superman. That means Superman. That's on purpose. I've never realized that. Maybe I'm a dummy. Maybe I didn't catch on. But did you know that? That's really cool. Let me know if you knew that. I found that out today. Yeah, Ulysses, good point. So to me, it's like Scooby-Doo, Mass Villains, or Three's Company Misunderstandings. Overly formulated, but it works for people. Yeah, we know it's like cheesy. It's like, really? Because you could poke holes into these, right? When they're misunderstanding and Mr. Ferdley's listening in and it's like a scandalous thing, right? Apparently, you could say, what? He's in the apartment right when they're saying it? You don't question that. You don't question Harpo Marx when he goes into his pocket or into his trench coat, takes out a blowtorch to light a cigarette. You would think, wait, how did he have a blowtorch in his pocket? How did he fill it with gas? How did he know? Wouldn't it burn his trench? You don't ask that, right? Or when Curly just goes into his pants and brings out a little cash register, or when he goes into his mouth and pulls out the receipt and tears it, you would think, wait, does he always have paper in it? You don't, right? It's like, no, stop thinking, stop overthinking it. It's just fun, right? Similar to what we're talking about. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Yep. Yeah, Coulant, one of your favorite movies about Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, and very well timed chase at the end. Yeah, the chase is great. I mean, it was very, very good movies. Mark Bass, no, I've never gotten into Little Rascals. Nothing against it. I've never sat down and watched it and giving it a proper viewing. But I could one day get into it. But I feel I have so much I'm trying to get into and working on. And it's just interesting, but we'll get there. We'll slowly move into other things. I'm very confident. Any field trips in the future? Sally N says. Well, probably not gonna like hearing this. The field trips will. I'm not saying they won't happen, but there's a baby girl coming, and the wife will need help with baby girl, and I can only do my field trips on the weekends, and so on the weekends, if my wife is working, I have to be with baby girl. So unless I'm bringing her strapped, which I may, like in front of me in one of those strap things and filming, and you guys are like, hey, baby girl's right here on my chest, and we're going to see, maybe, I don't know how practical that will be. Maybe after a few months once I'm comfortable, right? I've never been a papa before. So I'm not saying no, but just saying family comes first and so forth. And it's a lot easier to sit here in front of the camera, do live streams. A lot easier to sit here and make my research videos at home, right? When there's a baby around. There's no baby around, but there will be in 2 months. So, yeah. Tim, awesome. Glad I pronounced it correctly. Abbott and Costello did another good movie called Time of Their Lives, where Costello plays a ghost who exists in, I think, the 50s. Oh, I've never heard of that. Yes, indeed, with the horn kicks in. Superman! Yes. Love it. How is that not so cool? So listen, people are complaining. They say, Christopher Reeve, you stop talking about Christopher Reeve and elevating him and so forth. They literally brought the theme to this movie because it was, I don't want to say it was needed, but they needed that weight. And you know how music works. Music is very subconscious. And once you do various repeats, then you more pay attention to it. But it's supposed to blend into your subconscious. Like if you watch Dracula, there's no music in that movie. It's creepier almost because there's no music. There's no behind the scene like as he's talking. And so it's just like he's talking and it's just like silence. And that's creepy, right? You only hear wolves or birds in the back and the silence is like, ooh, right? Well, same here. All right, so it's just a very interesting thing, a very interesting concept. Yeah, Mark Bass, there you go. Suspension of disbelief. You're absolutely right about that. And so sometimes we have to have that, but sometimes it's too much. So there's a fine line when you're talking about suspension of disbelief. Yep. Yeah, the funniest dynamic in Abbott and Costello meeting monsters is that Frankenstein was, well, the Frankenstein monster, right? But see, that's the thing where I'm not really a stickler on it. Yes, it's a Frankenstein monster. It's technically not Frankenstein. Frankenstein is not the name of the monster, right? But I'm not a guy who like cuts people down. I feel like there are people in the world who will be like, oh, they want to catch you in any error, right? And they're like, oh, you said Frankenstein. You said Frankenstein should be the Frankenstein monster. I'm not really like that. If I'm doing trivia or I'm doing kind of a video, I will include it in there. But, anyway. But yeah, so the Frankenstein monster was afraid of Lou Costello. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic, right? Mark T, imagine Superman going up against Frankenstein's monster. That would be interesting. Stupid and silly at the same time. Absolutely. Superman would win like that. I mean, there's no contest. He would grab him and just like launch him across the room. Bring baby girl. Oh my gosh. Is that even possible? I feel like I am so, I don't want to say worried, but I've never been a dad. I'm excited to be a dad, but I'm like, how delicate are they? Can I even bring her with me to do things? Like, to be honest, I don't want to be with the camera in a stroller. I would rather strap her on me, those dad strap things, and then just have her with me and then just put it in the car and drive her. I would do that. I would totally do that. I am not opposed to that. But I'm just like, I need practice before I start doing that. Have my wife with me, have her help me. When she sees that I pass the test or graduate into, yes, you can officially do this, Dad, then I'll do it. Because again, my wife actually has 4 younger siblings who are all minors, under 18. One of them is going to be 18 soon. But by the way, so she grew up with those younger siblings. She has other siblings as well, adult siblings. But she is very experienced with that. And I haven't been around like a newborn in 25 years. So that's my little fear. But I'm so excited. Just letting you know, I'm so excited, so happy. I can't wait until baby girl's here. And we'll let you know her name. And maybe we'll call her Baby Rick 9G. Or not Baby 9G, right? But anyway. Okay, that would be awesome. The Julie Vanderleest. Oh no, sorry, I was reading the comment. Wow, you guys are typing so much, but I love it. Keep it coming because I can go back and forth, right? Julie Vanderleest says, "I love your field trip videos, but totally understand. Take care of baby girl and your beautiful wife." Yeah, they're the number one. But I think believe me, I know myself. Once I get into the groove of life, I'll be able to do more. Trust me. It's just right now, there's a lot happening on weekends and so forth, even last weekend. So yeah, I know that you understand, and I always try to do my best. I don't know what a boba is. Put baby girl in a boba. Is that the rap thing? I don't know. Justin Beaton says, congratulations on the new little life coming into your family. God bless you guys, Rick. Hey, I appreciate that, Justin. God bless all of you as well, and your love and support that you all have shown me. It's amazing. Absolutely. Tim F says, you're a cool guy, Rick. I try to watch all of your videos. I even went back to some of your earliest. You should. They're not as polished and great as the ones that are newer, but I absolutely appreciate that. Wow, we've been on here over an hour. I should probably come off soon. I haven't eaten dinner. I got to eat dinner. And I know a lot of you are up really late, so I appreciate you. Costello plays a ghost from the Revolutionary War. Oh, cool. The Sarge says, you'll be too tired for field trips or anything for that matter after baby arrives. Oh no, I've heard that. I've heard that I'm going to be really tired. I have a lot of energy, but I think once again, I'm a creature of habit. Once I get into my routine, creature of habit, I am Superman. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm really good. Now, I'm a mess while I'm adjusting to the change, but once I get into my routine, I am strong through my routine. Believe me. Life does not knock me down when I'm in my routine. Yeah, so that's just been me. So I'll be able to be good. Now when she's running around here, we'll see about that. Music is memory. Absolutely. Dean Cain, Julie says, was a decent Superman as well. But yeah, Christopher Reeve. I'm glad that a lot of you know about Dean Cain. I love Dean Cain. I saw him in bits and pieces as Superman, and I liked him. I knew he was like the small screen Superman, but I didn't care. He was enjoyable. I'm not going to say he's better than Christopher Reeve, but he was good. He was really good, and I give him props. Yeah, Christopher Reeve was made for the role. Marlene Pearson. Oh, he probably will be tired when baby comes. Don't say that. Okay, you say music can really elevate a movie. Both George Lucas and Steven Spielberg has said Star Wars and Jaws would have been half as successful without John Williams. Absolutely. By the way, I went to see John Williams live and listened to all of his music. It was fantastic. Yeah, music is like the silent one that goes in your ears and just makes your experience better. The silent, stealthy ninja that goes into your ears and so forth. So I appreciate it. Mark T, you'll make a great dad. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Sally N, not right away. I'm gonna like your thing, Mark. I'm gonna pin it because out of your mouth and into God's ears. I pray so. Let's see. I'm from New York too. Awesome. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. Okay, I think we're winding down. Let's see. Superman did fight the Frankenstein monster and Dracula in an issue of the comics. That's funny. And I'm glad that you actually know that. You're a big comic book fan. That is awesome. Oh, okay, wearing the thing in the butt. Yeah, I might wear something like that. And, I'm pretty strong. If she's light, and she's a little girl, so she's probably gonna be lighter. And then my handheld camera, yeah, I'll do things here and there, I'm sure. Thank you, Bethany. You are awesome. Henry Cavill will be missed. I haven't watched Batman vs Superman, but I feel like I need to. I can't stand the idea of Ben Affleck as Batman, but I eventually have to watch it, unfortunately. And I eventually have to watch the Robert Pattinson. Batmobile's an old muscle car. I can't see it. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I appreciate you coming on. I know the topic was a little different, but I had fun. And I'm really enjoying these kind of live stream movie reviews. Let me know what you think. I may do more of these because it's cool. We can go to the theater, but I know it's going to be hard to go to the theater. People are saying, go to the theater now before you have the baby, because then you're not going to be able to go to the theater. But I may say, wife, I need to go work and watch a movie. And you can stay with the baby, and then I'll go home and make a live stream, and then we'll switch off. I'll be fair. But anyway, thank you, Sally. I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked the live stream. Thank you for being a fantastic moderator and faithful moderator as always. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Oh, just as we finish, Ulysses the Pagan comes out with a $10 super chat. I appreciate that so much. I can't pin you. No, it's automatically pinned up there in the yellow. Awesome. I think you're an authentic, decent, genuine person. Even though you have a good number of followers, you're down to earth and accessible to your subscribers. I appreciate that, Ulysses. I try to be. And that's why I'm doing a lot of more of these live streams. I think sometimes I get out of the mood of doing the live streams, but now I'm getting back into the groove of my new married life, and I'm able to do them. Wife is coming soon. We'll, get together. But it's the perfect time. My dog is literally asleep on the couch, on the blanket, knocked out. So it's perfect. I have the place to myself. I can do the live stream, and so it's great. I'm appreciative that I'm able to connect with you guys, meet new people. I'm glad Ulysses is on. I'm glad all of you are on, because this made it a fun and exciting live stream. I appreciate it. And so I hope this made your decision whether you're going to watch Superman 2025 or not. Let me know if you are. Let me know in the comments. Are you going to go watch Superman 2025? Whether you do or not, that's your own choice. It doesn't affect me in that sense. I won't be offended either way. I just hope that my thoughts on it gave you maybe an interest. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to watch it. Or maybe gave you a refound interest for the Christopher Reeve stuff. Or maybe said, no, I'll pass on the movie. So let me know if you're going to watch it or not. I'm just interested. I'm nosy. Let me know. Commander Kane says, thanks for the stream. I appreciate you coming on. Jared, this was a great live stream. Hope you have a great night. Rick, take care. You guys take care. Elsine, bye as well. Mark T, take care as well. Great live stream. Rick is said by Paul Testa. Absolutely. Sweet hi-fi. I'm really glad that I found your channel. You produce interesting videos. Free to name your new daughter after me. Should I name her? My software disconnected. So Paul Testa, I know a lot of people ask me, they say, when's your next live stream? With how hectic my life is in terms of baby and so forth, I can only do it after my work right now, not on weekends, in the evening around this time. I'm not going to probably do it every week, every other week once baby comes. I kindly ask you work with me. I'll try to do more videos, or as many as I can, and we'll keep connected. I'll usually post it in my YouTube posts. So just to let you all know. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, and I'll let you know. When the live stream is. Don't forget to stay positive.